Shalom, 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 man. Giving all praises to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh Shai, Shabbat Shalom. 12 tribes of Israel. It's time to wake up, Jake. It's time to wake up, Jake. It's time to wake up, Jake. Stop hitting your snooze button on your alarm clock. Get up, Jake. It's time to take over the planet, man. It's time to get back our kingdom. Wake up, Jake. Wake up, Jake. Wake up. 5, 4. Shalom, 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 shalom. Giving all praises to the Most High Yah and the Son Yahweh Shai, man. Shabbat shalom to all the Hebrews. Shabbat shalom to all the Hebrews. Shabbat shalom to all the Hebrews scattered across the four corners of the earth, man. No matter where you are, Shabbat shalom to you all. It's time to wake up, Jake. It's time to wake up. Stop hitting that alarm clock. Stop hitting the snooze, man. It's time to wake up, Jake, because our salvation is nearer than what we believed, man. We're going to go into a subject today, in Esau world and Esau kingdom and the daughter of Babylon. They only give us approximately 28 days to reflect on certain history that they want us to learn. And basically that history is that you are a slave, you will always be a slave, and you will never be nothing but a slave. We're going to remind you that you've been a slave all your existence, and you will never be a slave. We're going to give you a couple Freemasons that we're going to put out in front of you that's going to go out and work the brain on the masses and deceive the masses, a.k.a. people like Rosa Parks, who was an Eastern Star, a.k.a. people as, Michael King, Malcolm X, Jesse Snake Jackson, Al Sharpton, Dick Gregory. All of these people, man, they are in cahoots with the daughter of Babylon. They are drunken on the wine of the daughter of Babylon, because the daughter of Babylon gives them that wine, that myrrh, that aloe, that frankincense, those precious jewels, that purple that she's in possession with at the time, man. But we're going to get into some Israelite history today for the awakened 12 tribes of Israel. And for you people, and for you Israelites, that the Lord is just putting the spirit upon, man. It's time to learn about some Israelite history. And the only way to learn about your Israelite history is that you have to remember the days of old. The enemy, the so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of, and the other nations, they will never tell you nothing about yourself, because you are God's chosen people. You are royalty. You are the gold on this earth. You are the top real estate of people that's on the planet. And the only way to understand your history is to actually search these scriptures, man. That's the only way you're going to get any understanding, is to actually search the scriptures. So this is what we're going to do, man. We're going to get into some Israelite history today. You got to remember the days of old. We're going to touch a couple of topics today just to stir up your pure memory, to get you to understand you are not black, you are not Hispanic, you are not Dominican, you're not Haitian, you're not Jamaican, you're not African, you're not Nigerian. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. We are God's chosen people, and we must know our history, because it's impossible to know where you're going if you do not know where you have been. Deuteronomy chapter 32. Deuteronomy chapter 32. And we're going to start at verse 7. Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, and we're going to start at verse 7. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old.
Most High always told us, man. This is in the book of Deuteronomy. This is in the last book of the 5 books of Moses. If you read the book of Deuteronomy, it says the same thing as Leviticus, and it says the same thing as Numbers, and it says the same thing as Exodus. That word actually means to repeat, to go over again. Read that again.
Remember the days of old.
The Most High God say, remember the days of old. If you are in Christianity, if you're in the Church of Holiness, if you're in the Baptist Church, if you're in the Episcopalian Church, if you're in the Lutheran Church, if you're in the Church of Scientology, it doesn't matter what denomination that you are under, they will never ever teach you the days of old. They're going to actually tell you that the Old Testament of the law of God and the apostles and all of the miracles and the prophecies are actually done away with. The Most High God actually commands us to remember the days of old. Read.
Consider the years of many generations.
He tells us to consider the years of many generations. How can you know where you are going if you do not truly know where you have been? You ask Israelites all the time, what's your nationality? They're going to give you the same token answer that their enemy has programmed them with through his mind control and through his other devices. He's going to tell them that they black. He's going to tell them that they African American. He's going to tell them that they are everything other than the Most High God's chosen people. Read.
Ask thy father, and he will show thee.
See, that's what happened, man. That's why the black community is destroyed for the way it is, man. Because our fathers, they are not teaching their children anything. They're teaching their children just nothing but to be good Negroes, but to be good house slaves, and to accept that you're African American, and to accept that you're black, and to accept that you're everything else but other than the children of Israel. Read.
Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
He said, if you ask your elders, they are supposed to tell you. See, the elders of Israel are the ones that's awakening right now. These were the original elders back in the day. The Most High said he was going to send us Amos, Habakkuk, Hosea, Abraham, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. He said he was going to send us those spirits in the last time to gather back his people. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 26. But there's a consequence to that, though, because we don't want to remember the days of old. We don't want to keep the commandments of the Most High. We want to accept that we are everything, and we want to accept that we're everything but God's chosen children. There's a consequence to this. It's always twofold. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 26. I said I would scatter them into corners.
The Most High said because of that, he said he was going to scatter us into corners. How did the Most High scatter us into corners? He put all of the Israelites on slave ships during different periods of time, and he transported them all the way around the world through the sub-Saharan slave trade, through the Silk Road slave trade, through the transatlantic slave trade. All of these different slave trades that took part in different times and periods of the world, he scattered us through all four corners that are upon the earth. Read on.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
He said that he was actually going to make our remembrance to cease from among men. How did he do that? By putting the most evil man on the planet, the so-called white man, and he put him above us to punish us. Put us on them slave ships, racial discriminate against us, job discriminate against us, house discriminate against us. The only way that we can succeed in the daughter of Babylon is if you're selling drugs to your own people, or you singing Massa a good song, or you doing Massa a good dance. That's the only way that you're going to prosper here. If you're not going to do that, you're going to be working 65 hours a week. That's just what it is. We are slaves here. We are not here to live the American dream. The American dream is a nightmare for the Israelites. Can't you tell? How long have we been singing a good old song? How long have we been singing Amazing Grace? How long have we been saying, yeah, we gonna, we moving on up to the east side? How long have we been saying that? And we still on the south side. We still in the red zone. We still in the red line district. We still in everything at the bottom. But the ones that got, a little bit of coins in their pocket, the ones that got them a little 3-bedroom shack, they think that the Most High is actually blessing them. But those are the same people that they do not know nothing about themselves. They don't know their history because they don't read their history book. Psalms 44 and 11. We're going to the book of Psalms, chapter 44 and verse 11. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 11. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat.
That's a very sad thing, man. This is King David crying out to the Lord, prophesying unto the Lord. He said, thou hast given us like sheep appointed for the meat, like sheep appointed for the slaughter, man. You ever slaughtered a sheep before? That sheep has no idea that sheep is about to be meat here real soon. He has no idea. But that's how Israel is, man. It's like a sheep doesn't even know, doesn't even consider that we are the meat for the slaughter. Read on.
And has scattered us among the heathen.
See, man, this is everywhere, man. This is not just in Deuteronomy 28:68. This is all throughout the scriptures, man. He said that he scattered us among the heathen. That's why you see Negroes in South America, North America, Japan, Africa, Switzerland, Russia. That's why you see us everywhere, man. Because he said he scattered us among the heathen. We are across the four corners of the earth. Read on.
Thou sellest thy people for naught.
Man, when we got out them slave ships, man, we got sold for naught, man. That's because we do not want to remember the days of old. We do not care about our history. We really do not care about our people. We always say that we do, but we always worry what we got in the refrigerator, how many cars we got in the driveway, what we got in our house. We never want to do the work of the Most High for His people. Read.
And does not increase the wealth by their price.
Read on.
Thou maketh us a reproach to all neighbors.
He said that He maketh us a reproach to our neighbors, man. Why you think that every time that we go to work, we have to change our ways to their ways? I'm going to tell you something, man. You want to see somebody switch up their ways, watch them at work. They normally talk with a little slang. They normally talk with a little ebonics, a little flavor to their so-called English language that they speaking. As soon as they get to work, they're going to get a high-pitched voice just like Esau. Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I had a great weekend. I went out with the family. I did everything. As soon as they turned around, hey, yo, man, what's good? Shalom, Mark. He said He makes us a reproach to our neighbors, man. Bible prophecies. Read.
A scorn and a derision to them that are round about us.
He said, and a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Why you think that they call us niggers, man? Why you think that every time that we walk past old Esau, Martha or Amber or Jenny, whatever them old Edomite ladies' names is, every time that that the Israelites walk past her car, she hit the lock button 20 times, man. She started clutching her purse, started doing everything like we gonna do something to them. We're not worried about them. Y'all should be worried about us. Read on.
Thou maketh us a byword among the heathen.
Niggers, man. Thugs, man. Blackface. Kata. Cotton pickers. Boy. Trying to tell you something. You want to make somebody mad, especially an Edomite, call him a boy. You're gonna flex your spirit real hard. Read on.
A shaking of the head among the people. My confusion is continually before me.
David said, man, his confusion is continually before us, man. You ask any Christianity person anything about the Bible, the only thing that they're going to be able to tell you is God so loved the world. That's the only thing that they're going to be able to tell you, and they do not even know that they've learned the doctrine of devils. But then when they see the truth, when they see the real prophets of the Most High, reading them word for word out the Bible, we twist in the scriptures. We don't know what we talking about. But your pastor, he not even telling you nothing. All he doing is he giving you a good Rick James, a good what's their group called? Bell Biv DeVoe. They're gonna get you Bobby Brown. It's just a good concert, man. And it's gonna be them tambourines. It's gonna be that harp. It's gonna be them drums. It's gonna be it's gonna be all day up in their church shucking and jiving. But they never read you scripture for scripture. He says, my confusion is continually before me. Read.
And the shame of my faith hath covered me.
He said, the shame of his face have covered me, man. Isaiah 1 and 3. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. And all we out there doing, and we're just telling them that they're Israelites, and we're just telling them that their pastor is actually under a 501c3, a government-ran program. They're just CIA agents for the so-called white man. They're just Freemasons, man. If you want to be a pastor in one of these big cathedral churches, one of these big football stadium churches, that hold 15,000 people, you must be at least a 32nd degree Freemason, man. They will not let you in there because you must keep the oath to them. If you a big female pastor, you are part of the Order of the Eastern Star. Look this stuff up, man. I'm not making this stuff up. This is very real, man. But when you tell our people the truth, they've been indoctrinated with the lies so much that the only thing good that they know is evil, and the only evil thing that they know is good. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
He said even the ox know his owner, man. You ever seen a dog? You ever seen a cat? You ever seen a horse? You ever seen an ox? You ever seen any animals? They know who their owner is, man. Read on.
And the ass, his master's crib.
Even a donkey, man, he gonna know who he is. A donkey gonna know his job. A donkey gonna know his responsibility. A donkey gonna know exactly where he lives. Read.
But Israel,
It didn't say the whole world, but who?
but Israel,
This is an Israelite book. This ain't got to do with nobody else. This book is only dealing with the Israelites, the so-called blacks and Hispanics. Read on.
does not know.
Israel don't even really know. Read.
My people does not consider.
They don't even consider it, man. They get to pass their 10% of their money in their collection plate, and they really think God blessing them. They got them trues and vows on that new Cadillac. They really think God blessing them. He's just setting you up for your judgment. He's just really setting you up to destroy you, man. That's how the Most High God of Israel get down. He gonna make you get puffed up. You're gonna be in the gym. Chest gonna be all swole. Curls for the girls. You know, you're gonna be all puffed up. You're gonna be feeling like everything's good. And that Cadillac you got, he's gonna send the white man. White man gonna take that Cadillac. You know, that refrigerator that you got. He gonna come take that refrigerator. Everything that you got, he's just gonna take it slowly from you, and he gonna rip you to shreds. That's his judgment. Read on.
Our sinful nation.
Israel, we are a very sinful nation, man. We do not want to go by the laws of God. We say that we love God. We say that we worship him. We say that God got us. But when it comes to these laws, nah, I'm going to do what Cedric Bozier tell me what to do.
That's right.
Cedric Bozier tell me to come as you are. You ask Christianity peoples all the time, how do you make it to the kingdom of heaven? They just tell you that you only thing that you got to do, you got to believe that Cedric Bozier is the son and you good. So then I asked him, everything in your life you got to work for. When you read Genesis, the 3rd chapter, what did he tell Adam? He said, by the sweat of your brow, you're going to have to get everything. So you got to work for everything in your life. And the ultimate goal as an Israelite, to make it to the kingdom of heaven, you ain't got to do nothing for. I mean, I'm not that much of a smart man, but I know when something don't add up to me. Read on.
A people laden with iniquity.
Laden with sins, man, and they don't even know it. Read on.
A seed of evildoers.
Very evil Israelites, man, especially Granny and Grandpa, man. If they ain't talking about that old slave doctrine, Ebenezer Saint Mount Zion, Holy Zion, High on the Hill Baptist Church, if you ain't coming with that slave doctrine, man, they ain't trying to hear none of that, man. A seed of evildoers. Read.
Children that are corrupt.
Children that are corruptors, man. You're about to see it here in a minute. Read on.
They have forsaken the Lord.
Forsaken the Lord, man. Do not want to keep his commandments. Do not want to consider the days of old. They're very happy and they're very comfortable in their captivity because they got to pay the so-called white man for his water. Got to pay the so-called white man for your food. Got to pay the so-called white man for your phone. Got to pay the so-called white man for your car. Got to pay the so-called white man for your house. Everything that you do, you got to pay him, but we are very comfortable in our captivity. Read.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
Nah, the Holy One of the whole world,
The Holy One of Israel unto anger.
You can't change these scriptures, man. It literally says the Holy One of Israel unto anger. The Holy One of Israel. That's why we last had our first fight on the bottom. Read on.
They are gone away backwards.
We are going away backwards, man. We're supposed to be remembering our history. We're supposed to be remembering the days of old, but we are going away backwards, man. Give me this first video right quick, God. Let me show you how the nation of Israel has actually gone away backwards, man. We don't really consider who we are, and we don't care. The lifestyle that our enemy sells to us as thugs, as you know, as men pleasers, as women pleasers, as children that are abominable, children that are corrupted, a seed of evildoers. We have begun to love that, and we have begun to establish that as a people. But those people shall surely be put to death. Play this video right quick, God. Pause. You got a brother rolling around town. One of the first things that he sees is an Israelite getting pulled over, going to the penitentiary, going to prison. Stashed in prison houses, as the scriptures say. Read on, play on, Noah.
Okay, I'm over in Chicago.
When you look at us, man, when you look at the Israelites, this is the first image that you see, man. Because this is the image that they portrayed to us in their movies, You know, this is all you see in their homosexual rap videos. You know, sagging with their pants down, showing another man your butt. Gang, gang, gang. Everything that come out of their mouth is gang, gang, gang. Knowing that they ain't gonna bust a grape, wanting to be fake thugs, man. Play on.
I'll go with okay. With Charles, I remember your I forgot your name already. Okay.
They swishers, sweets, cool with the swishers.
Whole lot of gang shit, man. You know we love it out here.
Okay.
Positive.
What?
Whole lot of gang stuff. What's profitable with a whole lot of gang stuff, man? Never seen it, man. These people that you think that are profitable, they are sellouts, man. All of those are Masons, man. You have to be. If you're not gonna get the wealth of the daughter of Babylon. Play on.
I'm gonna ask y'all the questions that people always asking me, and I want to know. I live in Detroit, but like Chicago, famous for their gangs. Y'all known for y'all organized gangs. I remember. What's the name of the most like?
And they proud of it too, man.
Chicago.
They proud of being low. They proud of being the lowest class citizens on the planet, man. They proud of being thugs and gangsters and killers. They proud of it.
So what kind of gangs in this area?
Money block shit.
Oh, okay.
Still, that's how it go. Real regular shit. You feel me?
Okay, now I know, like in now, do y'all have like if you want to see gangs? Do you see gangs like standing on the street? And do they wear the same clothes? Like
Man, that shit old, man.
Right. Yeah, because people.
This is the imagery, and this is the only thing that our enemy gives us as a way of life. Is to be satisfied with being second-class citizens. Is to be satisfied with being on the bottom. Is to be satisfied with not having anything, no wealth, no land, no corporations, no businesses, no establishments, no nothing. But the Israelites that got, a nice little 3-bedroom shack, they don't care about their people. They don't care about their nation because they got a refrigerator full of oodles and noodles. They're fine with that. They don't care about their people living in a shack, man, still in a slave plantation. Remember the days of old Israel. Play on.
People like Detroit got some gangs too, but people always ask me, well, how come I don't see gangs? They think they stand on the street like bandanas on the head. Like, nobody do that no more. You know what I'm saying?
That shit old, bro. Nobody doing that shit, man. That shit old days, man.
Yeah. Like now, gangs are low key. People low key. And I know in Detroit they low key, and what they do is they form a gang and they do certain things together. They might commit crimes together or whatever, but they don't stand on the corner and you know. What? I said, you're right. I know I want to. What's that?
See, man, this is what they portray to us, man, and this is what they give us, and we have fallen in love with this garbage, man. We have fallen in love with this lifestyle. We have fallen in love with this imagery. You know, those boys, none of them was probably older than 22, 23 years old, man. You know, and they learned it from these homosexual rappers, man, because that's all that they put in these videos, man. That's the only thing that they know is rap music and chasing skirts. That's the only thing that they know. And in every rap video that they give you is going to be some fake guns. Those are all prop guns, man. Those dudes are not real gangsters. They are homosexuals, man. But they make their money off of your ignorance to portray you as an image, to make you believe that you can actually live that life. And that life leads you straight to the penitentiary, and the penitentiary is on the stock market. It's all a game to these people, man. Deuteronomy 4 and 32. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 32. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 32. For ask now of the days that are past.
It says, for ask now for the days that which are past. We're not talking about Martin Luther King, man. We ain't talking about Muhammad Ali. You know, we ain't talking about Malcolm X. The days that were past. Your forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Joshua, all of the prophets. Ask about these people. What did they teach? What did they do? Read on.
Which were before thee, since the day that God created man upon the earth.
You're supposed to be asking about the day before the Most High created man on the earth, man. You're supposed to be seeking diligently to find the Most High God. And important, very important, is your heritage, Israel. You're supposed to be searching that out. Read on.
And acts from the one side of heaven unto the other.
It say it adds from the one side of the heaven to the other, man. Pastor Porchop will not tell you where you have been from one side of the heaven to the other, to the time before time. Pastor will never tell you this. He gonna say, in glory, God, thank you, Jesus. Sow a little seed. We gonna need 50% of your check this month. We gonna need your first fruits. You know, Pastor vacation. Pastor ain't had a vacation in 2 years. Pastor love offering. Pastor stress offering. Pastor gave a shoe offering. They not going to tell you nothing about your heritage, Israel. Read on.
Whether there had been any such thing as this great thing is, or had been heard like it.
Has there been any such great thing than when the Most High God delivered the children of Israel out of the hand of Pharaoh in Egypt, man? Is there any a nation of people that's so peculiar and so particular as the nation of Israel? Is there any a people that is set upon a high standard more of the nation of Israel, which is the so-called blacks and the so-called Hispanics, man, the Negroes, man, God's chosen people? Let's find out. 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 22. We in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 22. Let's see a prophecy that King David actually got. Let's see what the Most High told him through Nathan, the prophet Nathan. Read this right quick, God.
The book of 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 22. Wherefore thou art great, O Lord God, for there is none like thee.
See, this is David talking to the Most High. He said, for great, O Lord, there is none like thee. Read.
Neither is there any God beside thee.
Neither is there any power besides thee. He is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the power of the heaven and earth we live in. It's our God. He did that. Read on.
According to all that we have heard with our ears.
Read on.
And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel.
Hold up. It says, and what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even Israel. It's all throughout the scriptures. It didn't say even the whole world. It says like thy people. If you know anything about this messed up English language that we speak, the word thy is what's called a possessive pronoun. Thy, that means it solidifies that it belongs to something or somebody. Possessive pronoun. It says, in what one nation in the earth is like thy people, the chosen people, even like Israel, which is us. Read on.
Whom the Most High went to redeem for a people to himself.
He said he redeemed them for a people unto himself. It didn't say he redeemed the whole world. It only said he redeemed the nation of Israel. Read.
And to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land before thy people.
It says, and to make him a great name, and to do great things and terrible. What great and terrible things did the Most High do for the nation of Israel? We're going to get into it. Read on.
Which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods.
It says, what people did he deliver from the nations? What people did he deliver from under the hand of Pharaoh? What people did he deliver out of the hand of Egypt? Did he deliver the whole world? No. He delivered the Hebrew Israelites. Pastor Porchop, he will never go into this. Pastor Porchop, he will never tell you this because he is a paid agent of the so-called white man. Give me that in Exodus, Give me that in Exodus chapter 1 and verse 11. Give me that in book in Exodus chapter 1 and verse 11. Let's see what great and terrible things that the Most High did for the nation of Israel. Because, you know, in Christianity, no matter what banner of Christianity that you are under, They preach the same doctrine of devils. God is love, love, love. God is good. God is great. God is love, love, love. He said that David said that he did great and terrible things for the nation of Israel. We're going to read about that. This is Israelite history, remembering the days of old, remembering our past. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 11. Therefore, David set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasures, cities, Python, Ramses.
And so when this time, the nation of Israel, we actually walked into Egypt. We actually walked into Egypt under the through the prophecies and through the help of Joseph. Joseph was already in Egypt. So Joseph brought his whole family, the nation of Israel. And when we went into Egypt, we was there, we settled there because there was a famine in the land. And in Egypt, they had plenty of food and they had abundance at this time. So when we went into Egypt, we were there on a friendly manner at first. But the second Pharaoh, who did not know Joseph, he hated the children of Israel. He did not like us. And we were multiplying at a fast rate. And he did not like that because he knew that we were going to outnumber them. So what did he do? He said, we're going to make those people, we're going to make them slaves. Pharaoh did not like us. He was not our kinfolk. He was not cool with us. Pharaoh, he hated us. And he says, therefore, he put taskmasters over us. And he made us serve with hard bondage. Read on.
But the more they afflicted them,
But the more that they afflicted us, read.
the more they multiplied and grew.
The more that you afflict the nation of Israel, the more that we multiply and the more that we grow. Read on.
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
So I don't understand Christianity, man. It says they were grieved because the children of Israel. Who are these people that we are reading about? Who are these people? Christianity, they will never. And all they're gonna tell you is God love everybody. There is not one scripture in the KJV that say God love everybody. It's not one scripture. It says the children of Israel, which is us. We are God's chosen people. Read on.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
The Egyptians made us serve with hard bondage. Same thing that the so-called white man is making us do. He is the modern day Egyptian now, spiritually. And he's making us serve with hard bondage and serve with rigor. Read on.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
These people made our lives bitter with hard bondage, man. How could you love these people, man? How could you say these people are good? I've never seen a leopard look like a zebra, man. I've never seen a zebra look like a leopard, man. They stay the same from the beginning to the end. Read.
In mortar and in brick.
In mortar and in brick. Read.
And in all manner of service in the field.
See, man, we've been in the cotton fields, man. Talking about, the history that the so-called white man that your enemy gonna give you is you got into the cotton field, when you first got over here for slavery. We was in the cotton field in Egypt.
Right.
We've been there before. Read on.
All their service, where they made them serve, was with rigor.
Everywhere that they made us serve, they beat our backs in, man.
Right.
This is our history, man. When you read in 2 Samuel, the Most High said he did great and terrible things for us. Let's get into some of these terrible things that he did for us, man. Give me that in Exodus chapter 3, verse 9. Now, this is us being delivered from the hand of Pharaoh. This is us being delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. This is us being delivered out of the hand of our oppressor, out of the hand of bondage. This is when it first started happening. The Most High started to get very upset with Pharaoh because he made us serve with rigor. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me.
It says the cry of the children of Israel. We was complaining, man. Read on.
And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them.
He said he's seen the oppression that these other nations have oppressed us, man. If you watch that last video, don't none of them boys got a pot to piss in, man. Probably don't none of them got vehicles, man. Don't none of them got transportation. Don't none of them got jobs. Don't none of them got equal opportunity. So the only thing that they can do is to be a gangbanger, man. That's oppression. We are under oppression here. We are not free. We have to work 65 hours a week. That is a slave. You pay taxes here. You get taxed on your water. You get taxed on your food. You get taxed on your house. You get taxed on your land. You get taxed on anything, any and everything that you have. That's called slavery. That is called oppression, Israel. Read.
Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh.
This is the Most High. This is Yahushua talking to Pharaoh. He said, come here. He said, I'm going to send you unto Pharaoh. Read.
That thou mayest bring forth my people.
He says that thou mayest bring forth my people. Let's see who God's people is. Read.
The children of Israel.
Not the whole world.
The children of Israel.
It's only talking to the children of Israel, man. Paul said that he was a Hebrew of Hebrews, man.
That's right.
I don't understand this. I do not understand Christianity, man. It don't matter what banner that you under. You know, whatever that you say that you are, it's all Christianity. It's all paganism. He said his people, the children of Israel. Read.
Out of Egypt.
Read on.
And Moses said unto God, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?
Read on.
And he said, certainly I will be with thee.
He told Moses, don't worry about nothing. I got you. He said, I'm with you. Read.
And this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the children out of Egypt, you shall serve the Most High upon this mountain.
See, this is said, this shall be the token that he has sent forth with thee to bring us out of the land of Egypt. What token, man? He sent 10 plagues, man. He did terrible, terrible things, man, to the Egyptians, man. He put a plague of frogs on them. He put a plague of lice on them. He put a plague of flies on them. He put a plague of the cattle. He killed the first cattle. He put boils on them. He put a plague of hail on them. He put plagues of locusts on them. He put darkness on them to where they couldn't see. And he killed the firstborn, man. And that's how you get the Passover. The Passover is not about going through the Red Sea, man. The Passover is when the Most High passed over the children of Israel to smite the firstborn out of all of the Egyptians. And we're going to read it, man. Give me that in Exodus, man. Exodus chapter, matter of fact, give me that in Exodus 11 and 2. Because when we came out of Egypt, man, we came out with a very high hand. We came out with all of the spoils of the Egyptians, all of the jewelry, all of the money, all of the gold, all of the silver. And there's nothing new under the sun. When we are redeemed again, we are going to come out with a mighty hand, with a high hand. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 2. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold.
Jewels of silver and jewels of gold, man, came out with a very high hand. Read on.
And the Most High gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians.
Gave us favor in the sight of the Egyptians, letting them know that, man, these are God's chosen people. You think the same thing not happening here? These Edomites and these other nations, they shaking in their boots. Trust me. Read on.
Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt.
Even in our oppression, man, the Most High sent a man of God, and he was great in the land of Egypt. Read.
In the sight of Pharaoh's servants and the sight of the people.
Give me that. Jump down to chapter 12 and start at verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 1.
See, this is something that Christianity or any other 7-day Adventist is just Christianity. The Church of Scientology is just Christianity. The Baptist Church is Christianity. The Church of Holiness is Christianity. Muslim is Christianity. Buddha is all Christianity, man. It's all paganism. The Christianity church, they never practice this. They never practice the Passover, man. They never do it. And they say that they holy. This is a law that endures forever, even in your captivity. You must institute and practice the Passover. Let's see what this is all about. Read this right quick, God.
And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
The beginning of the new year starts with the month of Abib. Abib means first ear of corn, when the springtime comes around. You know, if you're in Texas, you know, once you start seeing like blue bonnets, you know, once you start seeing the trees, once you start seeing sunflower seeds, that lets you know that the new year is here. The new year is not in the middle of the dead. There's nothing. How can the year change and the season has not took its course? It's only 4 seasons of the year. You have spring, you have fall, you have the harvest, and you have the time of the dead. It has the same cycle of year. The month of Abib, that's the first of our months.
That's right.
360 days. Read on.
It shall be the first month of the year to you.
Our new year starts in the spring.
That's right.
You know, when it's obvious that something has changed outside. Lets us know. Read on.
Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel.
Of all the congregation of the whole world.
All the congregation of Israel.
This is Hebrew Israelite 101, man. This is for us by us, FUBU, man.
That's right.
And our people that they actually hate that the Most High is only dealing with us, man. They actually hate that because their oppressor has programmed their mind so far to love their enemy, man, to love their oppressor, man. The Most High is not dealing with everybody. He's only dealing with the Israelites. And if you got a problem with that, you got a problem with the power. Read on.
Saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house.
So on the 10th day of the month, you're supposed to go out and you're supposed to get you a lamb. Read on.
And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count with the lamb.
So it's just making sure that everybody got the opportunity to participate in this. If the lamb is too little for you, if the lamb is too big, give it on to your neighbor, man, an Israelite man. Read on.
Your lamb shall be without blemish.
Your lamb shall be without blemish. This is spiritual. Christ was the sacrificial lamb.
Right.
He was a lamb made without blemish. Read on.
A male of the first year.
A male. Read on.
You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it up until the 14th day.
So this lamb that you got in the 10th day, you're supposed to keep that lamb all the way up until the 14th day. Read.
Of the same month.
Of the month of Abib. Read.
And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel.
The congregation of the whole world.
The congregation of Israel.
Read.
Shall kill it in the evening.
Why would we be killing it in the evening if the day starts when the sun comes up, man? I just don't understand these doctrines, man. These doctrines must be killed. Read on.
And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts.
So you're going to take the blood of the lamb and you're going to sprinkle it, strike it on the 2 side posts. Read.
On the upper door posts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it.
Read.
And they shall eat the flesh in that night.
So in the 14th night, in the 14th day, or going into the 15th day, you're supposed to take that lamb and you're supposed to eat it that night. Read.
Roast with fire.
And you're supposed to roast it with fire. Read.
And unleavened bread, and with the bitter herbs they shall eat it.
So you're supposed to take this lamb with unleavened bread and with bitter herbs, and you're supposed to partake in this, Israel. This is a high holy day. This is a blood covenant. This is a blood contract. You must keep this year by year at the beginning of the year. Read on.
Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire.
Read.
His head with his legs.
Read.
And with the pertinence thereof.
So you're supposed to take this lamb, you're supposed to skin it, and you're supposed to actually cook this lamb with everything in it, with everything on it. The head still intact, the prunings thereof still intact, the inside still intact, and you're supposed to cook it well done. You should not eat anything with the blood in it. Read on.
And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning.
You're supposed to eat it all that night. Read.
And that which remaineth of it until the morning, ye shall burn with fire.
So if you don't eat it all that night, when you wake up in that morning, you got to burn that with fire. Read.
And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover.
So when you're eating this, man, you're supposed to eat in it with everything ready, with everything packed, with your staff in hand, because the Lord, he's coming to pass over you and smite the Egyptians. That's what the Passover represents.
Right.
It represents the Lord passing over us and smiting the firstborn of the Egyptians. Read on.
For I will pass through the land.
He said, for he will pass through the land. Read.
Of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt.
See, this is that great, terrible thing that the Most High, the God of Israel, did for us, man. Cesar Borgia would never pull up on the block and do none of this, man. Cesar Borgia would pull up on the block and he gonna say, love, 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 grace, grace, grace. Our God pulled up and he said, you know what, man? He said the firstborn of the mans, he said the firstborn of the lambs, they all getting put to death, man. That's how he get down. Read on.
Both man and
He
beast.
said the man and the beast, man. He said, Pharaoh, I told you to let my people go. He said, Donald Trump, I told you to let my people go, and you do not want to let them go. I'm sending plagues upon you, man. The man and the beast, they all getting put to death since you want to play with me. Read.
And against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgment.
He said he going to execute judgment on these people, man. All the gods of Egypt, all the Babylonian gods, all the Canaanite gods, all the Zidonian gods, all the Greek gods, all the Roman gods. He said he going to execute judgment on them, man. Read on.
I am the Most High.
He said he is the power. Read on.
And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are.
See, this is the reason why you sprinkled the blood upon the doorpost at the time. This is the reason why. This is the significance of this. Read.
And when I see the blood.
So when the Most High sees the blood is always the mediation of a token, of an agreement, or a contract. That's what the blood is for. Read.
I will pass over you.
He said he gonna do what?
I will pass over you.
That's why it's instituted, and that's why it's called the Passover. Because he passed over us. Read.
And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you.
So the plague passed over us, and it did not destroy us. Read.
When I smite the land of Egypt, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial.
What is a memorial, man? A memorial is an everlasting pillar to always keep you in remembrance of something. That's what a memorial is. He said this day, the Passover day, the 14th day of the month, of the first month of the year of Abib, that is a memorial to you. And you must keep these laws that go into that. This is the law of the ceremonial law of the Passover, which must be kept, Israel. This is Hebrew Israelite history 101. Read on.
And ye shall keep it a feast to the Most High throughout your generations.
He says, and ye shall keep the feast throughout your generations. He didn't say stop. He didn't say, well, you know, that was past time, the Old Testament done away with. He said, you shall keep it throughout your generations. Read.
Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever.
How long?
Forever.
How long?
Forever.
He said you shall keep this forever, man. Forever and forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, ever. That's exactly what he said, man. Forever, man. Let's go back to 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel, chapter 7, and we're going to start at verse 24. The Most High said he was going to do terrible things for us, man. That's a great thing for your God to come and defend you, for your power to come and save you, from your power to deliver you from the hand of your enemies, man. That is a great and lovely thing, man. I'm waiting on that day, man. You know, but it's a twofold thing, man, because, you know, woe unto you that desire of the day of the Lord, to what end is it to you? You know, Amos 5. But read on.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 24. For thou hast confirmed to thyself thy people Israel.
Thy people who?
Thy people Israel.
It's all throughout this Bible. I'm sorry, Christianity. I'm sorry. Your pastor has lied to you. Your pastor has robbed you. Your pastor has stolen all of your money, and he living off of you tax-free. Just in case if you didn't know it or not. That's exactly what he's doing to you, Israel. It's time to get up out the church and come back home, Israel. Return to your Lord. We don't.
To be a people unto thee forever.
No, you know, God had a chosen people, but you know, he done away with the chosen people. How long did he say Israel was going to be near unto him?
Forever.
How long?
Forever.
He said we're going to be near him forever, man. So did the Most High lie? I mean, did he break his covenant? We got a problem down here, man. We got a serious problem. Because he said that these people were going to be near unto him forever. We are those people. Read.
And thou, Lord, art become their God. And now, O Lord God, the word that thou hast spoken concerning thy servant and concerning his house.
The servant in his house. Israel is his house. Read.
Establish it forever.
How long?
Forever.
He said establish it forever, man. Read.
And do as thou hast said.
Read on.
And let thy name be magnified forever.
He said, let thy name be magnified forever. You know. That's for another day. Read on.
Saying, the Lord of hosts is the God over Israel.
Hold up, man. Hold up.
Bring it out.
You got to remember the days of old Israel because, man, Pastor Porkchop, he got a lot of explaining to do it. He said the Lord of hosts is the God over Israel.
That's what he said.
Read on.
And the name magnified forever, saying, the Lord of hosts is the God over Israel.
Read.
And let the house of thy servant David be established before thee.
He said he going to raise up the tabernacle of David. That's what you're seeing right now. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. It's very important that we start getting illustrations of being Israelites and stop getting these illustrations of being second-class citizens, man, being thugs, man, with your pants sagging, twerking on Instagram and Facebook, being in the house as a woman, running your mouth, not wanting to let your man lead, you weak and effeminate mans, not knowing how to run your house, man. It's time to get the nation back in order. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Nah, he taught us feelings and emotions.
Statutes and judgments.
He taught us statutes and judgments, man. That's the reason why we on the bottom. That's the reason why we confused now. Because we do not want to abide by these statutes and judgments. We want to do what Cedric Beaujeu and Pastor Porkchop say. Come as you are. Read on.
Even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess
He
it.
said it don't matter where you are, man. Keep my commandments. Read on.
Keep therefore and do them.
Nah, just think about it.
Do them.
He say and do them, man. Read on.
For this is your wisdom.
This is your wisdom. We the only nation of people that has wisdom. Just in case if you didn't know. Everybody do what we do. Everybody steal what we got. We walk how we walk. They want to walk like us. We talk how we talk. They want to talk like this. If you ain't figured it out yet, read on.
And your understanding.
See, we the only people that got the understanding. The Israelites are the only people that was given the oracles of God. I'm sorry, Pastor Porchop. Read.
In the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Wow, man, that sits in my soul, man. Surely this nation, the Israelites, is a wise and understanding people, man. If we come together, we will rule this world pretty easily, man. Pretty easily. If we abide by the law, statutes, and commandments, every other nation will be bowing down to our feet. And a lot of people, man, you Negroes, you know what I'm saying, you soft Negroes, it's too hard for y'all, man. Oh, yo, why you got the white man bowing down? He gonna bow down every day, man. Every day. Read on.
For what nation is there so great?
What nation is there so great other than Israel? Show me one and find me. I can't find nothing, man. You got the land of Moab and them. They down there, you know what I'm saying, with that Chung Lee, Kung Pao chicken, crouching tiger, hidden dragon garbage, man. You got Allah Akbar and them, you know what I'm saying, worshiping a rock, man. Talking about they Muslim, that garbage, man. You got the white man, the only thing that he know how to do is rape, rob, steal, and kill, man. You got the Africans, man, they you know what I'm saying, they got their lip disc, you know what I'm saying, in their lip, you know what I'm saying, they got the big earrings that make their earlobes, you know, with the writing on their body. Show me another great nation that's like unto thee, like unto us. Please show me one. I'm looking for them. Read on.
Who had Yahweh so nigh unto them.
We got the God of Israel so close unto us, man. Read.
As the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him.
Read.
And what nation is there so great?
Saying it again, man. What nation is there so great like unto the Israelites? Read.
That has statutes and judgments.
That got laws and commandments and statutes and judgments. The white man don't got no laws, statutes, and commandments. Can't you tell? He rape, rob, and steal and kill everything that he do. The Japanese man, the China man, they ain't got no God. Can't you tell? They bow it down to a fat gold statue, man. They eat rice and they eat ducks and they eat, you know, dogs and cats and you know, anything that they get their hand on, man. Can't you tell, man? Can't you understand? Read on.
So righteous as all this law.
As all this what?
All this law.
As all the law, man. Read on.
Which I said before you this day.
Give me this second video right quick, God. You know, this video actually, we must get the imagery back, man. We must know what we looked like in our glory days, man. We must know what the city of David is, man. We must know where we come from. And a bastard is living in our homeland right now, and he must make an exit immediately.
That's right.
Play this right quick, God. Look at this, man. The weakest people on the planet, they done built the IKEA on top of the house of David.
He's the senior director of the City of David. City of David is directly to the south of the old city of Jerusalem. It's an archaeological wonderland where the Jewish roots of the presence of the Jewish people
Jewish. Ain't no such thing as Jew.
Daron, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Where are we right now? We're in a restricted zone.
So you telling me that that's why the man of sin has the number 6. The number 6 represents a number of incompletion. That's what that number represents. That's why his number is 666. So you telling me that this non-melanation, lips not fully developed, frisbee nose, boomerang nose, degenerate people. You telling me that these people, only thing that they know how to do is oppress? You telling me that these people are the children of Israel? These people are the people of the Most High Yah and the Son Yahushua? You got to be fooling me, man. Play on.
We went over some funny rocks over here. Where are we? What are we doing here?
Yishai, there is the center of the world, and within the center of the world, there's Jerusalem.
Pause. You heard what he said, man? See, man, they know how holy Zion is, man. He said you got the center of the world, and then there's Jerusalem. See, they know about where we from. Play on.
Very close to the founding of actual Jerusalem. We are standing on stones with walls around us on bedrock. which used to be underneath my office. Meaning this, 5 years ago, I worked about 25 feet over our heads
Pause.
in a little...
Esau is building IKEAs and Pepsi centers and football stadiums on top of Mount Zion, man. These people must be burnt alive. Play on.
...an office. This was solid ground. And so one day, about 5 years ago, Dr. Eilat Nazar, who works with the Israel Antiquities Authority, she came into my office and she said, Daron, I want to show you a picture. She took out a picture and laid it on my table. It was this picture of this pillar head. She said, Daron, do you know what this is? I said, Eilat, everyone in Israel knows what this is. It's on the 5 shekel coin. I brought a 5 shekel to show you. See? 1 to 1, baby, 1 to 1.
All right, 5 shekel coin. I see that. Okay. So what is it, a 5 shekel coin?
Why did this make the 5 shekel coin? Everywhere in Israel you go, where there's a palace from one of our kings, David, Solomon, and afterwards, we have found...
He said from one of our kings, David and Solomon. Those are our kings. Those are Israelites. Trust me. They were Negroes, man. Trust me. Play on.
These pillar heads, meaning these adorned the top of beautiful pillars. She lays this picture on my desk and says, Daron, in the Jordanian phase, when the Jordanians occupied Jerusalem, this was found in the city of David. I said, not everybody knows this. What's the story? She said, listen, I drew a line from where this was found, showing how it must have rolled down the hill, and the place it originated from is underneath your office. Aisha, when she said that to me, I was 25 feet over our heads, and I remember tapping the floor with my foot, saying, there's no way King David's palace is beneath my feet. She said that King David's palace was here. And that launched an excavation which uncovered perhaps the most important archaeology ever connecting our people to Israel.
King David.
I'm going to tell you something, man. For you weak Negroes, man, that don't want to stand up for your power, man, don't want to stand up for your God, you just going to let these degenerate people go in and just take your heritage, man. You're going to let these people go in and steal your identity, man. You're going to let these people go in your house and steal all your oodles and noodles out your pantry, man. You're going to let them take all your Cheerios, man. You're going to let them take all your inventions, all the beauty. You're going to let these devils take credit, man. They got to go, man. Zechariah 9:6, man. Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 6. I'm going to show you, man, this Bible prophecy, man. You got these retards over there in our land, man. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
If you know where Ashdod is right next door to Jerusalem, man. Right next door. He said a bastard shall dwell in that land. Those look like bastards to me. Read on.
And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
Give me that and give me this next video, Give me this next video, man. I'm gonna show you something. It's crazy to me how the other nations, they glorify and they magnify at our beauty more than we do, man. That troubles my spirit, man. That troubles me dearly, man, because I see these Edomites, they are over there, they are extravagant. They know this book is true. That's why they send Pastor Pork Chop to deceive you, man. Remember the days of old. Remember where you come from, Israel. This is where we come from. The city that set it upon a hill, man. We've always had an advantage going at war because we can see everywhere around, everywhere that we was. The city of David, the city of Zion, sitteth upon a hill. Play the video. Show the people. This is where we from, man. Built with our hands. Extravagant. Sitteth upon the city, man.
David. Wow. This is 2,500 to 3,000 years old structures.
Positive. We got structures, man. We were so wise and we were so ahead of our time. We were so gifted as a people that we built structures that still standing 3,000 years later. 2,500 years later. They're still standing. Only we could do something like that. Play on.
We found here a Jehucal mark, an actual bulla. A bulla is the imprint that the priests use to seal documents with their name, and they found the name of Jeuchal, and also another Buddha, which is Gedaliah, son of Pashur. And they're mentioned in Jeremiah 38:1 and Jeremiah 37:3. Can you imagine the Bible?
I'm going to tell you something, man. You Israelites, you really don't believe. You need to do your research, man, on really where you're from. These Edomites are trying to find out everything about you. Play on.
Mention this name, this priest, and they find their seals right here. It proves the validity of the Bible. It proves that the Bible is true. And with this excavation, we're able to imagine where David lived.
Look at that.
The city that David lived in 3,000 years ago.
Positive. Anybody that ever came to war with us in Jerusalem, man, they got put to death, man.
Right.
Go back and show them real quick. See, that's the city that sitteth upon the hill, man. We had a military war tactic advantage on everybody. We had the archers out in the gate sitteth upon high hills, and you want to come to battle with us, you got to come see us, man. And the archers, trust me. You think Brett Favre can throw a foosball, man? You think Troy Aikman can throw a foosball? See some Israelite throwing spears out there, man. Pinpoint accuracy. Play on, right? Look at that. Beautiful, man. Land flowing with milk and honey. I mean, to the glitz and glamour that Esau has given y'all, the fake wealth, the fake rich, all this glitz and glamour stuff that Esau done spoiled y'all with. Y'all might not understand it, but that's a land, man. All you gotta do is throw a watermelon seed out there. It's gonna grow automatically, man. You got peach trees, you got plum trees, you got aloe, frankincense, myrrh, you got purple, you got gold, emeralds, topaz. All fine things, all the rich things in life, man, that you're going to need to survive. That's wealth. That's understanding that you know how to live, man. Give me Exodus 3 and 8. Exodus chapter 3 and 8. We're just remembering the days of old, man. We're just going back within our history, learning a little bit about ourselves. It's only so much that you can get in a small matter of time, but Most High willing that you get a little bit of the understanding. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians.
The Most High said he's coming to deliver us out of the hands of the Egyptians during this time. He's going to do the same thing under the hand of the spiritual Egyptians, which is the Edomites, which is the white man. He's going to do the same thing unto us. But if you don't know how he delivered us out with a high hand, you will be destroyed here. Read on.
To bring them up out of that land.
To bring us up out of that land. To put us in what kind of land, though? Read.
Unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
He said into a good land and a large land. A land flowing with milk and honey. Does it mean like actual milk? You got rivers of milk, flowing, through the river of Jordan. Is it milk flowing through river of Jordan? No. That's just talking about abundance. That talks about, fluidity. That talks about, being fertile. That talks about that land. You can put anything in that land and it's going to grow. You're always going to be able to survive in that land. The most fertile land on the planet, surrounded by the waters. Read on.
Unto the place of the Canaanites.
See, the Canaanites, they dwelt in our land before we got there at first. Read.
And the Hittites.
And the Hittites as well. Read.
And the Amorites.
The Amorites dwelt there as well. We had to kick them out. Read.
And the Perizzites.
And the Perizzites was there. Read on.
And the Hivites.
And the Hivites was there too. Read.
And the Jebusites.
And the Jebusites was there. Read. All of these Hamitic nations were living in our homeland at one point in time. But we came through under Joshua and we took business, man. Isaiah 33. Isaiah chapter 33. Isaiah chapter 33. And we're going to start at verse 20. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 20. This is a beautiful, your homeland is the top real estate on the planet. I don't see the white man going over there trying to bomb somebody for Australia, man. He's not bombing anybody for Yugoslavia and Switzerland. Nah, he's over there. He put a 1948 mandate to call himself the children of God and to take away and steal your identity. When somebody steals my identity, they got to be put to death. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 20. Look upon Zion.
Look upon Zion, man. Read.
The city of our Solemnites.
Solemnities, man. That word means solemn feasts, man. That word means celebrations. Read.
Thine eyes shall be Jerusalem.
Thine eyes shall see Jerusalem. Thine eyes shall see that place, man. That holy land. When it says you're going to make it to the kingdom, it doesn't mean like this, magical place, man. That's talking about the city of David. We going back there, man. That's the kingdom of heaven. That's where we're going to be located. It's not a magical place that's going to pop out of the sky, man. That's Christianity. Read on.
A quiet habitation.
Quiet habitation, man. Ain't nobody tripping in Jerusalem. Everybody keeping the laws. Read.
A tabernacle that shall not be taken down.
A place that shall never be taken down, man. We're going to have that place forever. Read.
Not one of the stakes thereof shall ever be removed.
He said not even a stake, man. Not even a stake shall ever be removed out of our homeland. Read.
Neither shall any of the cords thereof be broken.
Neither shall any of the cords be broken. Read on.
But there the glorious Lord will be unto us a place of broad rivers and streams.
A place of broad rivers and streams, man. How could you not want that? This ain't nothing but a concrete jungle that we live in. How could you fall in love with this place, man? Ain't no plum trees, ain't no peach trees, ain't no cantaloupes, ain't nowhere. All you got is gas and you got oil and pollution in the earth, man. And you love it. Read on.
Wherein shall go no galley.
No galley. A galley is a ship. No galley, no ship is going to go through there. Read.
With oars. Neither shall gallant ship.
He says, neither shall gallant strips, shall majestic or big ships. Read.
Shall pass thereby.
Read on.
For the Lord is our judge.
He said, what?
The Lord is our judge.
He said, the Lord is our judge, Israel. The Lord is our judge, nobody else's. Read.
The Lord is our lawgiver.
He said, the Lord is our lawgiver. Read.
The Lord is our king.
Whose king is he?
Our king.
Whose king is he?
Our king.
He's our king. It didn't say the whole world. It's only talking about Zion, Jerusalem, the holy city for the Israelites. Read.
He will save us.
He will what?
Save us.
He's going to save us, man. Only if we keep in these laws, statutes, and commandments. Revelations 21 and 12. Revelations chapter 21 and verse 12. Let's get some more understanding on that, man. Let's see who this place is for, though, because you ask Christianity, who can make it to heaven, so-called heaven. They say everybody, man. Well, the place that we're reading about, the city of David that we just saw, Zion, Jerusalem, let's see who is designated for. It got to be designated for somebody, right? Let's see who is designated for. Read this right quick, God.
The book of Revelations, chapter 21, verse 12.
And this is talking about New Jerusalem that will be builded again, and it will take time to build it. Read on.
And had a wall great and high.
It said it had a wall, man. If anybody can make it to the kingdom of heaven, why does the kingdom of heaven got a wall around it? If anybody can get in, if it's free game, what's the point of putting a wall around it? A wall is to have something to keep something out. If I build a wall around my house, if I build a fence around my house, I ain't trying to let nobody get in. You got to have access to get in. It's simple. Read on.
And had 12 gates.
See, Christianity say it got one gate. The scriptures say, it got 12 gates. Read.
And at the gates, 12 angels.
12 big bodyguards, man, holding it down, man. Read on.
and names written thereon,
And these gates got names written on. Let's see what names are written on these gates. Read.
which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
No, I can tell you, it do not say that. Read that again.
And names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
It's a boo-boo effect, man, for us, by us, man. I mean, I'm sorry, man, but if you got a problem with that, take it up to the Most High. Good luck, man. Good luck with that garbage. You either get in or you're going to be put to death, man. Israel, it's time to remember who we are, man. First Maccabees 2 and verse 50. We coming to a close here, Israel. First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 50, man. See, a lot of Israelites, they want to be precept up, man, puffed up, man. They don't even really know about themselves, man. That's why one day they acting this way, the next day they acting this way, the next day they want to be hard, the next day they lying again, hypocrites, because they really not seeking to find out who they really are. They really still low-key Christianity, and they really still low-key Americans in the mind. Read this right quick, God.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 50.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, verse 50.
Chapter 2, verse 50.
Now therefore, my son, be ye zealous for the law.
Hold up. If the law of God, if the law of the Most High is done away with, why is it saying, be ye zealous for the law? I don't understand anybody in Christianity, man. I don't probably was made that way. Read on.
And give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
It say, give your life, man, for this covenant, man, for this truth, for this blood covenant, for this contract. Give your life for it. Read on.
Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time.
Call to remembrance, man, what Abraham did, what Joseph did, what Yahushua did, what David did, what Jehoshaphat did. Call it to remembrance what they did, man. That's the only way you're going to know how to move, Israel. Read.
So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Abraham got an everlasting name, don't he? Judas Maccabeus got an everlasting name, don't he? Yahushua got an everlasting name, don't he?
Right.
Joshua got an everlasting name, don't he? What about Ezekiel? Give your life for this truth, man. Stop playing games with the Most High. Read.
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation?
Was not Abraham found faithful, man? Read.
And was imputed unto him for righteousness.
Read on.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandments.
He said, hold up. Nah, man, we in captivity. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, you know what I'm saying? We can't do that. What did Joseph do in the time of his? Joseph was sold by his own brothers, man. Mm-hmm. His own brothers did him dirty, and he still kept the commandments. That's why the Most High brought Joseph up the way that he did. Read on.
And was made Lord of Egypt.
He was made master of Egypt, man. Second hand, right next to the first Pharaoh. Read on.
Phinehas, our father,
Read.
Is being zealous and fervent, obtain the covenant of our everlasting priesthood.
He said he obtained the zealous and fervently obtained the covenant of the everlasting priesthood. Read.
Yahushua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
So it says Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. This is talking about Joshua. The transliteration for the name Joshua is Jesus. Read on.
Caleb, for hearing witness before the congregation. Salakia. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land.
Read.
David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom.
David, man. King David. Joseph. Joshua. Caleb. King David. Your forefathers. Not Martin Luther King, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. No, the men of the God of Israel.
That's right.
Read on.
Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven.
This is talking about the prophet Elijah. Okay? He was zealous. He was beamed up. He went too hard. The Most High said, "Nah, man, come here real quick, man." Same thing that he did with who was it? With Noah? With Enoch. Read on.
Ananias, Azarias, and Misael, by believing, were saved out of the flame.
So this is talking about Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Daniel in his homes, who was saved out of the flame. When you read that in the book of Daniel, how they was cast into the fiery furnace, and Yahweh came and saved them. Read on.
Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions.
Daniel, man, when he was cast into the lions den, the lions, they didn't even lay a paw on him, man. This is what your God will do for you, Israel, if you stop playing games. You know you ain't keeping the commandments. You know the only time is you want to be holier than thou is when you walk up into that club, the house of Satan. You start shucking and jiving. Read on.
And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
If you put your trust in the Most High, man, you will never be overcome, man. Giving our praises to the Most High, Yah, and His Son, Yahweh. Hopefully this was good spiritual edification, man. Just a little bit of Hebrew Israelite history, man, by remembering the days of old, going in our history just a tad bit, man. We will be bringing out more and more of this information. Hopefully it's good for you Israelites that's waking up, man. Shabbat shalom.